Rick, you told me to use stop losses, so why did I get screwed?
Well, let's talk about when a stop loss works for you and when you could get burned. A stop loss, as you remember, whether it's a trailing stop or just a hard stop, will trigger selling your shares of stock when you get back down to a price below where you were when you set the stop. So if you bought a stock at $5 and you put in a 5% stop loss, 5% of $5 is 25 cents. So if that stock comes down from $5 to $4.75, your stop loss, if you set it good till canceled, will trigger and you'll sell that stock at $4.75, having lost 5%. Now, if you were using a trailing stop, let's say your $5 stock went all the way up to $6 and you had the same 5% stop loss. Now, as it went up to $6, your trailing stop would have come behind it, and your $6 stock, if it came back down to $5.75 using a 25-cent trailing stop, you'd be out, and you'd have made a 75-cent profit on that $5 stock. Trailing stops and stop losses, they work wonderfully. They're amazing. But let's talk about the difference. There is a stop market and a stop limit, and you need to learn the differences and you need to understand the dangers of both, because both have their advantages, both have their dangers. So when you set a trailing stop on a big cap stock during the day while the stock market is open, you can just say, hey, if it comes back down to $5.75, sell it for me. And sure enough, when the price of the stock comes back down to $5.75, you'll be out. Almost always at exactly $5.75. Sometimes maybe at $5.76, sometimes maybe at $5.74. Why, Rick? I set it for $5.75. Okay, let's think through this. When your trailing stop hits at $5.75, it will put in a market order on your big cap stock. And because big caps are so liquid during normal trading hours, you'll almost always get filled immediately right at that price. But slippage is a thing. So if your order gets sent when the price is at $5.75, the price might have gone back up to $5.76 or $5.77 before your order gets filled. So sometimes you'll get out at a better price. Sometimes, however, if the stock is falling fast, you'll get out at a worse price. So if your trailing stop or your stop loss is set for $5.75 and the stock was at $6 and it starts coming down quickly at $5.75, your order gets placed, but that stock could be at $5.70 or worse before you get filled. Keep in mind, for you to sell, whether it's automatic or manually, somebody has to be on the other side buying. And in a fast market when things are flushing, sometimes the buyers are scarce because everybody's dumping their stock trying to get out. So, what's the lesson? The lesson on your stop losses is that while they work wonderfully and while they do protect you, they may not get you out at the exact price you want. Now, there's a solution. You could set a stop limit order which says when it gets to $5.75, sell it only at $5.75. Well, that's great. And if the price fluctuates a little and comes down to $5.74, it won't sell. It'll wait for the price to come back up to $5.75, which they almost always do. But imagine this. Again, that example, the market's flushing. If we're waiting to sell exactly at $5.75, well, you could blow right through your stop and never get filled as that stock goes all the way down to zero. So will your stop limit order work? No, not always. The most common stop is simply a limit, right? Where at $5.75, your order is sent and you'll get filled at the next available market price. That accounts for why your fill could be different than your limit price. Now, here's the problem. The stock closes at $6 at the end of the day when the stock market is done for the day. You're up big. Something happens. A bomb goes off somewhere. A world event, the president speaks and changes the tide of the economy, banks crash, interest rates rise, whatever the case, when the stock market opens the next day, though your price was $6, well, maybe the very first trade of the day is $5. And yes, your limit order would get triggered because the price went below $5.75, but you might get filled all the way down at whatever price the stock market opened the next day. So the point is that stop orders, they work, they protect you, they get you out, they do all the things they're supposed to do almost all the time. You still have to watch your trades. I don't mean to scare you because it's a rare event, but in the event that your fill is much worse than you expected, now you understand why. That problem's even worse in options that are hugely volatile. Also, small caps, penny stocks that jump around like crazy, stop losses and trailing stops often just won't do the job. So before you trade, follow my advice in previous videos or everything I have to say at copyandwin.com foolproof.com, look at the Discord, and realize that you should start trading the big caps only. How about index funds? Trade the SPY, the Spider, or the QQQs. Trade the stuff that is so liquid, you'll always get filled right at the price you want, and you'll never have to worry. Hope this is helpful. I hope you're enjoying this series of YouTube videos, and when you're ready, smash the like button, and then run on over to our Discord and see what we're all about. Love you.